how important is LinkedIn for your business? Well, it depends. Let me explain. I'm LizJSimpson, founder of the Big Money Movement, accompanied by Cheryl Parks and Heather Petherick, our amazing, brilliant Big Money Movement coaches. And we talk about LinkedIn all day, every day with the women that we serve in the Big Money Movement. When you're considering how important LinkedIn is to your business, we need to look at what is your business model and who is your ideal buyer. When we are working with clients, we have found that if you are a B2B business, LinkedIn is hands down the place to be. We know that 80% of business-to-business leads are sourced through LinkedIn. So if you're looking to do business with other organizations, nonprofits, associations, LinkedIn, yes, critical to your business. If you are looking to do business with corporate clients or executive buyers, right? Same thing. It's important that you're on LinkedIn. Now, another nuance that might not fit in that bucket that I still think is a type of business model that should pay attention to LinkedIn is if you're a business and your ideal buyer is a high net worth individual. So we have clients who have been financial planners or investment planners, and we still have found significant value with them being on LinkedIn because in the US alone, we know that the average income of a LinkedIn user is over $111,000 per year, right? So that being said, if you know you're looking to work with organizations or high net worth individuals, LinkedIn, yes, the place to be.
Yes.
So
it's like the MVP of your business.
Yes.
But an MVP you don't actually have on the payroll.
listen, say that again.
It's the MVP of your business that works for free.
Yes, it's a free platform that you can leverage. When I think of all the reasons why LinkedIn is so critical to your business, one of the things that I first think about is buyer behavior. So if you're looking to do business with organizations, we want to reverse engineer what that executive buyer's buying process is. And what we typically know is that first there's the awareness stage, the awareness that I have a problem, awareness that I'm looking for a solution. And then once you become problem aware, the executive buyer advances to what we call the consideration stage. And that's where they're researching potential solutions. That might be vendors, that might be service providers, that might be a myriad of many different avenues for how they can achieve their outcomes. And they're normally 67% of this process is done digitally, on their own, self-educating. So the question becomes, before they reach out to a service provider, if they're doing their own due diligence to educate about all the ways that they can pursue a solution to their problems, and if they're doing this on their own, how can they be exposed to your thought leadership or your service through your business? And that's where LinkedIn is critical, because LinkedIn is one of the top 5 indexing sites with Google. So odds are when they're searching for who the service provider is, they're going to find you through LinkedIn if you're positioned well. You all want to talk about like how you position yourself well with your profile on LinkedIn?
Yeah, so the easiest way is you want to definitely look at your profile above the fold, because typically that's what they're going to look at first. They're just going to see what your photo looks like. You need to have a good photo, close enough to the camera so they can actually see your eyes and that kind of thing. You also want to have a banner. Use that real estate wisely. There are lots of ways you can create banners on your own for LinkedIn. And then you'll want to have your headline before you even drop into your about section, which is also important. But above that fold, you want to be sure that it's crisp and clear and let your buyer know that you are one of the sources they could consider as a solution to get them the transformation they're looking for.
Yeah. And I love it when our clients start to understand there's a formula, there's a recipe to a really stellar LinkedIn profile.
Yes.
And one of the big ticket items on your profile is your about section. It's where you can agitate the problem that your buyer is experiencing and demonstrate the outcomes that you can deliver and what makes your unique approach or philosophy the one that they need to do business with.
100%, right? And also, if you're doing all this work for the buyer to land on your LinkedIn profile, we know that your executive buyer wants the buying process to be as simple as possible, right? So a Harvard Business Review study did a report where they looked at how we can simplify the buying process. So if your buyers landed on your LinkedIn profile, make sure that you don't make them click around to all of these different websites, right? Think about the user experience. Give them the information that they need to make the next step in the buyer's journey on your LinkedIn profile. And one of the ways that you can do that is turn your experience section into your menu of services. Let them know what the services are that you offer, the value of those, and how to take that next step with you.
What I also love about LinkedIn is how members can use it to really educate the buyer about their services, their approach, and what makes their philosophy unique. That whole pre-education piece is so huge in the buying process. And it is actually taking some of the heavy lifting off of our members' shoulders, where your LinkedIn profile really, again, is the MVP of your business that you don't have on payroll.
Free.
I love it. It makes me think of a story. This is a while ago. I had a discovery call scheduled on my calendar. And so I was preparing for this discovery call. I'm like, how did this person find out about our business?
Yeah.
Who are we connected to? Like, where is this sphere of influence? Where's the overlap? We weren't connected on LinkedIn. I didn't recognize her name. So I'm like, I don't know how I know this person and how they found me, but I'll just show up to the discovery call and ask the normal questions that I ask. And when I asked her how she found me, what she said was that although we were not connected on LinkedIn, we had a mutual connection. I commented on our mutual connections post. She saw my comment and was intrigued by my headline, right? Because that's one of the most SEO-rich sections of your LinkedIn profile. And so she said, it made me click on your profile to learn more. And because my profile was optimized, the headline section, the cover banner, the about section, the menu of services, and I had assets, what we call sales assets, meaning podcast interviews, white papers. I had a lot of content that would position myself as someone who was familiar with the challenge that she had, and data and case studies that showed how I created her desired transformation for others. So here I am showing up to a discovery call with a stranger, from my point of view, but from her point of view, not only did she feel like she knew me well, but she understood my approach. So she was already bought into my approach to the problem. Right, pre-sold.
Pre-sold.
Pre-sold. That's
sales
literally
MVP. You don't have on payroll.
Listen, and that was all through a free LinkedIn profile. So that is a beautiful thing that you can leverage. Can we talk about the power of a LinkedIn network? Do you all mind diving into that a little bit?
Oh, Cheryl.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So your network is your net worth. I know you've heard this
Say
before.
that slowly one more time.
Your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
So the connections that you have, as has been mentioned previously, those connections have hundreds of connections, and their connections have hundreds of thousands of connections, which puts you in proximity to probably tens of thousands of people that you don't know that potentially have the problem that you solve.
Yeah.
So you want to be active, visible, also engaging in other people's comments and conversations with more than just, that sounds great. That's exciting. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You want to give your thought process. You want to give, why you think differently in a respectful manner, right? You want to come in and give additional thoughts to be considered, because that's where people see how you separate yourself from the mainstream.
I think so many people undervalue their network, right? So when you launch your business, have you called and spoke to everybody you've ever known to tell them what it is that you do now? Odds are you haven't. But if you are connected with these individuals on LinkedIn, and all of a sudden your profile changes, your content changes, they're seeing distinctions, they're seeing how other people engage with you. Now all of a sudden you are framing in the mind of your potential buyer or champions, hey, she's doing something over here. I can't tell you how many people who I hadn't really told them about the big money movement and the work that we were doing, but because we're consistent in how we publish insights and data, I have people who are like, oh my gosh, I love the work that you all are doing and the impact that you're creating through the big money movement. I shared it with so-and-so. And without LinkedIn as a vehicle to really do that from a professional standpoint, I would have missed many opportunities because I wasn't actively engaging everyone and communicating that to them. And so LinkedIn is a way to just create dynamism.
Dynamism. Isn't that it?
Let me try a new word.
I'm out of this.
LinkedIn creates this dynamic two-way relationship or two-way conversation with your network. Another thing I'll say is that, like, I cannot stand business cards. I'm like, please save these trees and stop passing around these business cards. Like, most people aren't following up with people that they get business cards from. Like, I just feel like it's a waste of a tree. But that being said, you know, when someone hands you a business card, that's static, right? Like, that's not a way to cultivate a relationship. I have to dial that number, but I don't really have a way of staying in tune with your business. But I put my LinkedIn QR code on my business card. So when someone says they want to connect with me, I'm like, absolutely, pull up LinkedIn. And that way, even if that person doesn't have a need for my solution right now, or I don't have a need for theirs, they're going to stay top of mind because when they're publishing insights, I'm going to see those. Or when I'm searching for a service provider, if I search something and they're in my network, they're apt to show up. Or if, you know, maybe I'm building a new relationship with this person and I don't really know how to feel about them, but I see how their network reacts to them and engages with them. I'm like, this must be a really cool person, because look at the relationships they have and how people interact with them. So there's just so much gold in LinkedIn. And we know that 84% of executive buyers turn to LinkedIn before making a purchasing decision, which honestly, if we said that, we could have saved you 12 minutes.
And it's free.
And it's free. Did we mention?
It's free.
It's free.
Except for Sales Navigator.
Yes.
You got to watch another video on that.
Yeah.
We are the Big Money Movement, signing off. And if you want to learn more about how to use LinkedIn to market your business, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Click the next video and we will give you some more tangible tactics and strategies. See you there.